Respect the place that you call home. Respect the land in which you roam. Respect the country you were born. Let's take it back. Respect reform. Hold on to freedom, hold on to hope. Don't give them slack, don't give them rope. Don't walk and hang your head in shame. Be proud, stand tall, and we will reign.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Rob Sheridan. I'm going to host this show, or present this show, Exeter Needs Change, for our host, Neil Stevens. Now, on the show, we focus on local issues. No national issues, just local issues which concern your daily life. And tonight, we've got some great guests. We've got Neil's brother, Tony, who's a
Hi,
counselor from
back again.
St. Thomas, Nexwick. We've got Nick Williams, who's Exeter City Councilman from Priory, I believe, right?
Yep, that's right.
I'm losing track of all the reform counselors going on here. And hey, Nat, good to see you again. Nat is the Devon County Councilor from Broadclist.
Good evening.
Applause to you guys. You're great. So anyway, but first let's get kicking with the topic, which we know you'll enjoy, which is our journey to 2027. And you know, in May 2027, we have a massive local election where everybody has to vote, where the term of every single Exeter City Councilor is going to come to an end. Every single one. And new elections will be held for 39 seats in a big, huge, expanded Exeter Unitary Authority. That's the 39 seats for the Exeter area. Okay? Anyway, we're going to roll up our sleeves and talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So without further ado, here's our host, Neil Stevens.
Okay, you can see I've had a haircut and I've had a shave, so I look 10 years younger than the photograph that Rob put up on my Facebook page. Okay, we are not going to discuss about local issues. We're going to discuss about a local. What we're going to do is build a team. We need to build a team right now and starting from now. And I'm going to ask the questions. Why are we looking at 27 next year? Why are we going to build a team, guys?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, a general election will soon come around. If not before Christmas, May 2027 will soon be upon us.
General election or...
I think there'll be a general election soon.
I could quite agree with you on that one, Matt.
No, I disagree. I don't think. But my...
But you've got to be ready.
My aim is May 27. Right, this is our journey now up until May 27. If a general election comes in, yeah, so be it. Nick?
Well, I think we need to start now searching for new candidates to come and join our team, start and work with us now so the residents can get to know the new candidates. We can build some kind of trust. I think it's important for us to start early.
So what we're looking for the right people. We don't just want names on a ballot paper, right? It takes, to get a team together, and it doesn't matter whether you're a candidate, whether you're putting leaflets through the door, it takes time to build a team.
Yeah, give you another reason why. And I won't say a word for a minute because I'll just flash these pictures in front of you.
Oh, it's me, look. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now, these four people are reform counselors, and their term will come to an end of May 2027. You will be no more, gentlemen.
No, ours
And
doesn't
so,
actually
no,
end
you
till
will
May
be no more.
28.
You will have to run again to secure your seat. And we did a great job last year. We eliminated labor from the Devon County Council, from the Exeter area. And we're going to do the same thing this year in the Exeter Unitary Authority, right? Is that a good enough reason?
You're not quite correct, actually. Our job does come up next year, right? But we go to the people, they will vote, but our job as Devon County Council will carry on for another year. So we can't get out of it that easy.
No.
All right. But we need candidates. We need candidates who want to support. Now, we need people from the community. We need people to follow our journey. So we don't normally do political podcasts, but tonight is all about trying to find people to make Exeter change right up to 27.
Well, just to add to that a little bit, Neil, is hey, we've done this is our 60th podcast, and I think the constituents from your area, particularly you guys, Nat, Neil, and Tony, who've been in office now for a year, know the great job you've been doing. So that's an important aspect of continuing this journey, right?
Yeah, it's good. And I'm going to put a question to the lads. What made you get involved? Because you could say, Nat, if you knew what you knew now, you'd still get involved, wouldn't you, Nat?
Yeah, of course I would.
I'm not pushing him then.
I know. I mean, I would have, because I made the decision. Nobody forced me to do it. I mean, it was my decision. I sat at home there and got fed up, just like I see people fed up now that contact me and speak to me. It would be nice to see a few more stand up and have a go, because it's amazing what you can bring. And if you want change, that's the way we'll get it, is by people standing up.
But
Exactly.
maybe people don't want change. Maybe people are happy with the way the city is being run, and we might be wasting our time. I don't know.
Okay, well, Neil, let's crack on with the next part of this segment here, okay? Which is our famous slide here, which is really important because this is all about the people, isn't it? Tony?
Yeah, well, I've got to say this really sincerely now, look, because your voice matters. So let's have a conversation. You can get us on Facebook, WhatsApp, on 07355 429 205, on YouTube and on Messenger. Send us your comments. Doesn't matter how rude they are, we will do our best to answer them. They will come in live. Or you can actually get hold of or email Neil at neil.stevens@devon.gov.uk, and he'll receive them that way.
Oh, thank you very much, Tony. And by the way, Neil reads every one of your messages, not only tonight, but during the week. So you'll receive a response either on the podcast or email. Thank you very much, Tony. Neil?
Yeah, so this won't work unless people, the public, actually write in. Now, we've got loads of people who watch, but we need questions, answers. Put us on the spot tonight. I don't care. Right? We're not trying to change your political stance. We can't. But we need people to stand up, get off them chairs. If you want Exeter, Greater Exeter to change, this is what the programme's on about tonight. So bear with us. Let's do our journey on this. There is a few slides. I promise you the next few weeks it'll be more chatting than slides. But moving on to the next one, Rob. So the questions I go out to everybody, what would you change about Exeter? And that goes out to anybody. And while we're sat here, guys, what would you do to change Exeter? And I put that to Tony.
Well, I think this is one of my little things, and that's better streets, a much cleaner sort of city. I want it to be a city that I can be proud of actually saying I come from, instead of when I see it in certain places where you look at it and you think you've really let that go down. And one of my little pet hates is not one that's got inundated with student flats.
Yeah, here.
Okay, well, we're doing a technical error from Paul. Thank you, Paul. Doesn't seem to be working on Exeter needs change Facebook page, but okay on Neil Stevens' Facebook page. Spread this out, guys. We're trying to get the message out here. If you share it, even after tonight, if you know somebody, just spread. Send the message out to everybody. So going back to that, Nat.
Well, I think these are the subjects you talk about weekly on here. And it starts with getting the basics right, i.e., keeping your streets clean and tidy, weeds, everything. The whole thing is important regards your infrastructure, how your city looks, and we're talking about a larger area than just Exeter now, because obviously my area is going to change, and it's the same problems, just a different area. So. It's about getting the jobs done right, and at the end of the day.
Would you say the city looks tired?
looks tired. It looks messy in some areas.
You know, we can blame Exeter City Council, we can blame Devon County Council. So I just think it looks really, really tired. Now, 20 years ago, it was flowers everywhere. It looked lovely. So where's it gone wrong?
We've talked about the public toilets, and who wants to bring their gran or kids to a city where they can't take them to a public toilet if they need the loo, if they want to go shopping or whatever, out for a meal on the high street, things like that. It's little things. We've brought these subjects up before. Now, these are the things that need to be put right.
Well, I think I get people sometimes look at me and say, you know, you live in the past. But if I look back 20 years ago, it was a darn sight happier place to live.
You couldn't
than
walk
it is
down
now.
Exeter High Street. You know, it was chock-a-block, wasn't it?
But it was still a better place to live in.
Yeah.
And I look at it now, and yes, I'm proud to say I come from Exeter. Of course I am. But I look at it and I think we spend all this money on council tax, and I'm well aware Devon County Council take a load, as Exeter City will point out. But where is it being spent on? The money needs to be spent wisely.
Yeah.
Because
that's
every
exactly
year
right.
our council tax goes up. But as with the police, I don't know if the money's well spent or not.
Neil,
Yeah.
did you want to comment on that?
Yeah. Hello, Louise. Good evening to you. I won't mention your second name. I've been working with Louise quite a lot, and keep up the good work with your child. Well, so things have gone wrong. You know, the bus service, but we can also say the bus services because it's choked. All the traffic regulation orders going in, the gas works, the electric, it's all going there. But people expect better value for their council tax, really, don't they? The council tax gets divided up. Do they listen to residents? Do the council listen to the residents? Do the councillors?
I get
don't
the
know.
impression the answer is no sometimes.
Mm.
And this is where, you know, you need the people's voice in there. It's like, how can you put it? It's like a little club. They don't care for your decisions because they're already going to make them.
See, what I would change is infrastructure. So when they build all these houses, right, the schools are not there, the GPs are not there, the roads are small roads, they're building and building. I've spoke to somebody today, Alphington Road, of the 67 houses, come back to that another time, right, but they don't listen to the people. And they carry on building, more trucks, more vehicles, more
It is
people.
arable land as well, some of it.
More people, and so, you know, that's what I'm trying to say there. Right, and that's what I would change.
We're increasing the population, but without the right infrastructure to cope with extra
What
people.
would you say, Nick?
Yeah, I agree. I think the companies that are building the houses, the large builders, they should pay a lot more into a fund which would fund a doctor's surgeries, schools, pharmacies. All of these should be built in to the estates, and they're not. So if you look at, for argument's sake, my ward, and especially around Glasshouse Lane and the doctor's surgery there, you look how massive the housing estates have got, but they've got no more doctor surgeries. So all that means is that everyone's got to wait a lot longer.
The thing being, you can't blame this on the building companies, because they're, of course, they're going to go in there, put their quotes in, do the work to the planning spec. What it boils down to is the planning.
Yeah.
Is planning departments, not just in Devon, but across the country.
Exactly.
It is letting the system down.
Yeah.
It's letting people down.
All they're doing is, if I can add to that, Matt, is if anything that the developers pay for, you will pay for directly. The people moving into a house. That's why the houses are so doggone expensive, and kids can't even afford a house these days because they are paying for everything and his brother. NHS has got billions and trillions and thousands and hundreds of thousands of employees. They should be, as Nat said, forecasting, hey, we got a new development coming on here. Don't we need a surgery? Don't we need to pony up some money? but instead they seem to be skimming the money away and not focusing on building their own facilities to accommodate the local residents.
I say
That's my opinion, anyway.
You look at Alphington, it's like another village really that has been built. But there is one school that obviously cannot be used as it's subsiding. But no other schools, so they've all had to be spread around. They've had to be spread around surgery, spread around dentists. That's a lot of people.
No kidding.
I'm not going to say the first word, but it's the 3 Ps, isn't it? And I reckon we can all guess what that is.
Yeah. So let me just go through. Tina, nice to see you. Jessica, thanks for watching. Nathan, Gary, love you all. Well done. I need comments in. I need questions so we can answer them. Put us on the spot. I don't care. All right. So we've done the LTR, Local Government Reorganisation, and it's going to be called Greater Exeter. Greater Exeter. So basically, we're still keeping the 13 wards. They're not changing. All right, and each ward will have 3 councillors.
3 councillors.
Yeah.
Gosh.
All right, that's as we stand right now. I don't know why we need 3
They're gonna
councillors.
die. Divide them
I'd
up.
like to quickly say I think Exwick's only
2
got
can go
2
on holiday
because
and let the
one
other one
seems
do
to
the
be
work.
AWOL.
Well, I think you need to remember that at the moment there's 3 councillors per ward, and then there's 1 Devon County councillor.
Correct.
That sort of
Per
covers,
district.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I
yeah.
cover half of Tony's area.
You cover 2 wards, so do I.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
cover 1.5 wards. Tony covers
Oh,
1.5
sorry, yeah.
wards. All right.
But Nick is exactly right. You know, in addition to the 3 councillors, there's another you guys as well. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I can't imagine
So there's
why do
4
we
in
need 3
total, but we're going to go from 4 people's work down to 3 people's work.
Okay, to answer your question, the reason
Who will be
we
doing
have
4
different
people's work?
is
Yes.
2 tiers, 2
Yeah.
levels, 2 tiers. You have Exeter City Council in charge of the parks, the bins,
True,
the
yes.
rubbish, homelessness, etc., like that, and the city centre. Then you have Devon County Council, where they're in charge of the roads, the highways, send, adult care, all the big stuff, I call it, all the big stuff. So my job is to relay about the roads and all the complaints about the this and that. So the councillors, I don't know why it takes 3 of them, but there are 3 councillors to deal with the other stuff. I'm not going to, and we work together. So I have worked with Exeter City Council. I tried not to stand on their toes and they try not to stand on my toes. But things are going to change now. So my question is, do we still need 3 councillors for each ward? Personally, I don't think we do.
well, I'll give you an example, Neil. In St. Thomas, where I live, I assume I live in St. Thomas. Yeah. Anyway, we have the 3 councillors, and I think one of them is now a Green Party guy, Jack or something like that. And then we've
Oh, no,
got
they're all
Debbie,
great
and
people.
I don't even know who they are anymore, frankly. Who do I contact? I just contact one of them. And why one? How do they share the work? It's absolutely confusing to residents. Anyway.
Yeah, just want to answer this question just from Paul. The stake of fair balance, Exeter City, they only grab 7.67% of the council tax. Yeah, I agree. With DCC getting 75% of council, 75 point. Yeah, but 79% of your council or the money we get in goes to adult care and children, social services, send and all that. So we can't take that away from them. Right, so that's your majority. We are getting older. The older folks have got to. We saved a life this week, didn't we, Tim?
Well, we did, yeah.
Right, that's another story.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers that question. But let's look at Greater Exeter. With Greater Exeter, they're grabbing more real estate, more property, or more people in order. I always say to get more money.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. All right. So as Greater Exeter, you're going to have 86 councillors. So you can see why we are starting this journey to 27, right? So the people which are elected, and it doesn't matter, right? Whoever's listening, if you're whatever party, these people which are going to be elected in 2027, they will help shape Exeter's future. That's where your children, your grandchildren, everybody, right? These people we select will shape Exeter's future, right? you know, things, you know, we can say, I'm not a great lover of LGR, all right, but we could also say it could be a good start for a fresh start. Would you say, Nick?
Yeah, definitely. I think it stands the possibility of being a really great start to start again. And I think as long as people realise that if they're not happy with how Exeter's gone over the past 14 years or something, then it's about time you look and say, well, maybe I need to look at voting in a different party, some sort of different councillors, to start to change stuff. Because if not, it's not going to change.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I was going to quickly say that, you know, back in Christmas of last year, is it last year or the year before? Before I decided, to, you know, when I decided I wanted to stand with as a Reform County Councillor, I didn't know I was going to win. It was one thing I thought, if I don't do it and give it a go, who will do it? And I was quite prepared to put my head above the parapet and sort of voice my opinions. I never regret that. And I think if anyone wants to do it, because it's a chance in a lifetime and you could make a lot of changes, to be honest, in Exeter. The more we've got, the more power we've got in changing things. Because what we did do when we got county council and we got elected is we took out all the Labour county councillors in Devon.
But could you think, my biggest concern, we could just recreate the old system, right, what we've got now, under a new name.
Yeah.
So if we have the same people, and you know, if you don't want to vote for me, you don't vote for me. If you don't want to vote for Nat, Nick, don't vote for me. But I think we need to be seriously looking at candidates and who you vote for. And I will keep repeating this. These people next year will change how Exeter is run.
I'll give you maybe two examples, quick examples. But correct me if I'm wrong, please, guys. But I guess the send services are provided by Devon County Council presently, right? Okay, so I guess those are those going to migrate over to the Exeter Unitary Authority?
Anything that's in the Greater Exeter area will become Exeter's responsibility, and that's from highways to the send to the adult childcare.
Okay, well that's my thanks. That's you've sort of helped me make my point, which is so. There are no skill sets right now within the Exeter Unitary Authority, Tony, for as far as people managing that contract, because they don't manage a contract, or they don't even manage the people. So they're going to have to find people with those skill sets in order to work for the Unitary Authority.
Excuse me. Devon County Council.
Yeah, excuse me. Just one other point. And so they're going to need to get those people in place, right? Find them. And then the second aspect is the reverse is going to happen. The rubbish removal is provided by Exeter City Council and St. Thomas. Now Exeter's Unitary Authority is going to have to take care of rubbish removal throughout all this big patch, which they don't have, I would imagine. That's a big doggone area, you know? And so they're going to have to recarve the contract. They're going to have to get more people. It's absolutely
the easy
tremendous job.
There's a lot of work going on.
That's the easy part, the rubbish and the stuff that Exeter already deal with. The hardest part is integrating what Devon County Council do to what Exeter will now be doing. And as for the experience with the officers with Devon County Council, they won't all vanish. Some will be actually merged in.
Neil?
Right, my biggest thing is every pound spent needs to be scrutinised. Right, we've got somebody on this now scrutinise everything. I'm not saying anything's underhanded, but it's very easy to spend other people's money. And right now, even on consultation, yeah, what's the figures, Tell?
What for
I
Exeter?
think Exeter was 5 grand, 5 million.
I can't comment on it online.
Devon
now,
County
because if
Council
I'm
was
wrong,
even more.
people will
Just
ring
gonna,
up.
right, just gonna do. Yeah, in fact, many skilled officers will migrate from DC to. Yeah, a lot of the people won't be losing jobs. So whatever you had that, because my concern was people losing jobs.
No.
Right, it will not. People. I'm not saying everybody won't lose a job, but you know, the well-being of the staff is one of my main concerns. Rob.
Well, yeah, it's very complicated because I've been through many TUPE transfers and outsourcing services in my career. But for example, the send service, maybe a good example is I assume there are people managing that service. It's a tremendously important and huge funded service. So maybe they sit in the Devon County Council building. That service is going to be split apart into the different unitary authorities. I would imagine that many of the people will not want to go to the extra unitary authority. They'll sit there in their cozy, in their comfortable environment in the Devon County Council building, right?
Yeah, let's go back. Remember, Torbay look after their own roads, they look after their own adult care, and same with Plymouth. So let's not forget that. All right, so look at it. A change could be good as a rest, as they say. All right, finances, adult care, children's services, roads, infrastructure, local representation, frontline services. This is all the things we've got to transfer over. Will it transfer with a clean sheet? Oh, I don't think that. There's one question I want to answer here from NAM1A11. And I like these questions. Reform want to slash 50 billion from PIP. How would you protect the most vulnerable in Devon? I don't think he said PIP. PIP is an actual different claimant. What he's looking at is
welfare,
universal credit,
yeah,
right? Not PIP. PIP is part of universal credit. So what reform is saying, there's a lot of people who could be working, or remember what universal credit is for. Universal credit is for people who can't work because they're vulnerable, they're ill, they have all these different problems. You also have universal credit is to help you when you lose a job, if you lose a job, to make sure you've got food on the table, and then it should make you, or not make sure, that's the correct word, it's to help you find work. Now, sadly, I'll tell you that, whether you like it or not, there's some people who don't want to move off that universal credit. I don't want to go down that road. We're going to do a separate thing. I think we'll do that next week about policies and all that and questions. So we'll stay on track, but good question. And I appreciate that.
Add to that a little bit is, yes, I think it'd be great to do another podcast on this, because I think in the Telegraph today I was reading that over half the people on PIP are working. So if they're working, which is a great thing, why are they receiving PIP? I know it's a bit complicated, and I think it'd be a great podcast to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a specialist on it, but I will be by next week.
Can I say, I was actually told the other day, which I did get surprised about, you can actually do a full-time job and you are entitled to PIP on top.
Yes, yeah.
Which really surprised me.
Yes,
because I thought all that
we're going to go off this subject, but to finish this subject, at this moment of time, if you was on a seesaw, the seesaw's tipping the wrong way. All right?
And also, let's just bring this back. We focus on the local issues, okay? There are a lot of local issues, which we've highlighted in our 59 previous podcasts. It'd be great to focus on.
Yeah, but the question was how vulnerable in Devon. So he did refer it to local issues, and that will come out next week. And I love that question as well.
I agree, but PIP, Neil, is a central government mandated requirement. These, with all due respect, I don't think that this is within your control. But
I know that. That's why I'm saying
it's not something which we can change.
And that's why I said we answer this question and we're going to move on.
Thanks.
So Ian Frankham, very good. They're the most important local election in a generation. Wherever you vote for, please get out and vote. And that is one of our messages right now. So our message, you've got to vote. You've got to vote. The percentage of votes in Alphington, I think 39%. I don't know what your area was.
Yeah, really, really bad. When you look at the average, I think it's about 28%, the average of people who go out and vote. And, you can stand there, everybody, and moan about everything, but if you're not going out and voting for it,
great point.
You really can't complain.
Yeah.
So I think this time we've actually got to get out and vote for what we believe in, and that has to be changed. This, I think Ian's right. This is a massive change to what's going to happen.
Totally agree.
Yeah, good question from Paul. So do we need to be like Australian system?
Well, that's when you get fined if
mandatory
you don't
It's
vote.
mandatory. That's a good point.
You get fined.
If you don't vote, Don't
10 quid.
whinge. Yeah, I like that.
If you don't vote, you get fined.
So that's a
fined
good
tenner.
question to everybody. Would everybody want that to be mandatory?
I don't know about mandatory, but I think everybody has to educate themselves, and you have to work out what you want and what party's going to hopefully give you what you want. And when you get a lot of these messages in, Neil, they're asking questions that somebody hasn't actually gone and researched themselves.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we have a duty
Yes.
as citizens of the city to go out and actually educate ourselves and understand how and what we're going to do to change, and what party's going to be that vessel to take us there.
Excuse me.
Neil?
Louise, good question. It would be great to see more people realising that their vote matters and taking a personal responsibility and duty to be involved in elections at local. And
Absolutely.
guys, this is why we're starting our campaign. So what does need to change in Exeter? You know, we've covered it, but what does it need to change in Exeter? And I'll put that question to you again. Where do you start? Where do you start? Because remember, this could be a fresh start for everybody.
I think, like I said, I'll start it, look. So I think money's got to be invested in the right things. All I hear about is student accommodation. Any plot of land in the city centre, student accommodation. There's plenty of other things you can put there. You've got a high street that's dying on its feet.
Well,
Shops are shutting left and right. Get the cheaper taxes in, the you know, whatever, the rentals and that. Get them in there. Fill those shops. Get the entrepreneurs in there.
We've talked about this on past shows about the student accommodation, and they are the majority of them coming from all around the country. So why don't they give a bit back? You know, we talked about like what was it, a $5 or a $10 a month?
But
on
they're
there.
building these new student accommodations, but they're cutting
But that
staff
would then
at
go
Exeter
into
University.
Exeter's pot to provide public toilets and stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Money's going somewhere.
But there's new ideas going to be coming into this new authority, and
Yep.
those ideas need to be shared.
But speaking to the head of Exeter City Council, their pitch is these students bring a lot of money in. They buy clothes.
Why
they go,
is the university?
all I'm
laying
saying
people
is
off?
they bring money in. So I'm not disagreeing
Well,
with you.
they actually do, Neil, bring in money, but they
Yeah.
don't bring in money for everyone. They just bring in money to
the bars.
certain bars, certain little shops, and maybe the odd clothes shop. But the money doesn't go into the locals' pockets. They're the ones that suffer because the student housing prices outprice
And
residents.
can I say at this point, remember, a lot of students have now gone home for a while, so there's a lot of vacant properties that won't be occupied until the next term.
Neil?
Okay, so going back to it, right? So my biggest thing is the weeds, right? The potholes. That's my biggest thing. So when you drive into this city, you don't want to see weeds. You don't want to see bushes.
You want to be proud of your city. Yeah.
You want to be proud. You know.
Yeah.
The bus
Things are looking shabby.
reliability. I understand about the buses, and I have defended them because I get on really well with them, and I understand why.
I agree totally, Neil. And also the graffiti. Give an example. There's some person or persons, but who is graffitiing almost anything that moves along Alfrington Road, all the way to. I tracked it all the way up to Sidwell Methodist Church on Sidwell Street up there. It's like a race car with two wheels. Anybody who knows Alfrington Road or the environment around here will have seen that. But every night there's a new one. Some really sad person graffitiing something, and it's too bad the police can't get involved with, bringing that person to rights, because it's a person that's really, affecting the look of our city, really. Neil?
Yeah, Rob. This is Rob. He says they put up about binning your chewing gum. The thing is, they've taken all the bins away. Well, yeah. I tried to put some rubbish in the bin the other day. It took me about 10 minutes to find the bin.
Well, and then somebody had a bright idea. Let's ban chewing gum. Well, gee whiz, let's
I think-
hide in a dark room.
I mean, it actually does amaze me with the actual bins on the streets, because obviously, if you're a dog walker or a dog owner, you clear up. But then you find the bags chucked everywhere, and they're invariably thrown everywhere because
Hanging on
people
bushes.
can't find a bin.
All the bins are rammed full.
Yeah. Most of the time, they can't find a bin. It's
But we
ridiculous.
could sit here all night, but we need solutions.
Well, your
Yeah.
frontline services then, let's look at that. If you want to, improve your policing, the crime and the shoplifting in our shops and whatnot. You look at what's happening down at Exmouth at the moment, there's rife down there. People walking in and taking stuff and walking out.
Yeah.
And shop owners have had enough. You want that happening in Exeter, do you?
I can't-
Like the drug situation in Exeter's horrific. You wouldn't, you've only got to walk up through the high street, up the Sybil Street, and it is disgusting up there. And it all needs sorting out.
Well, I
Yeah.
think
Because we can't just let it carry on.
I don't blame the police on that, because I did raise that up once, and they said we can arrest them, but the courts just let them out again.
I think the other thing is prioritising. We've only got, as a council, X amount of pounds to spend, and we've got to prioritise certain frontline services. Certain things which we think is important, and maybe some of the other services have to be stopped. And I know Reform have been slagged off for this in other parts of the country where they have taken over the councils and they have made the books actually balance at the end of the year, which is virtually unknown for councils. But they've done that by cutting certain services.
Yeah.
And everybody runs you down. But I've run a business. Neil, you've run a business.
Yeah.
You run a business. You have to make the
Hard decisions.
the hard decisions to make that company survive. And the council can't just keep saying, "Oh well, we'll spend more money on this, we'll spend more money on this," and borrow.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil, did you have a comment?
Right, what does a councillor actually do? Because main thing today is to get people to volunteer either to be councillors. So what does a councillor actually do? The biggest thing I do is listening. Listening. I don't know, Tony, what are you up?
I would say one of the most interesting things I do is you're an intermediary. Somebody will pass you information of a problem, and you will pass it on to the relevant department.
It's called signposting, Tony.
Signposting, yeah. Or you go out and you look at the problem and then decide how you want to progress it further. You can't win them all. So there's some people, unfortunately, I have to say, I'm sorry, but there's not a lot we can do.
I think a lot of it is showing an interest. You've just got to
Yes, I
show
agree.
an interest.
And one of the examples that Will had is I got contacted by one of the local councillors in Exwick to say a lamppost had been knocked down in an RTA. It wasn't going to be put up till December. Is there anything I can do? I wrote to Highways, and within a day I had a letter back saying, look, we've pushed it forward, September the 18th.
Neil?
Win.
So we can reel off a list here. So you got, listening. That's the main thing, listening. And I go to St Michael's Church in Alphington, right? Answering residents. So I try. Well, not try. I do. I do every email which you've sent me. I'm getting better at it. I try and have Saturday off. The wife tells me off, right? But it's like a drug. Once you start doing this, it's like a drug. Not that I've done drugs.
Well, you can make a difference.
Be careful,
you can
Neil.
make a difference, and people appreciate it. I've seen that. I've heard that from your local residents. Neil.
But you've got to be persistent. And what I mean persistent is I respect all the officers, whether they work for Exeter or Devon. You have to be polite, but you got to be persistent. If they fob you off, you just keep going at them. Keep going.
And also,
be
Neil,
visible. Visible.
You maybe, I think you mentioned this before, but it's worth highlighting that residents come to you and Tony and Nat for Exeter City Council issues because many times they don't get a response, and you're a great communicator and team member, and you work with Exeter City councillors.
Yeah, I will add,
So
I got
we
told
really
off.
appreciated that.
I got told off for sort of poking my nose into local council issues. So I do try and give the whack to the local councillors.
Exactly. Thank you. Nat?
No, it's.
I think
Thank
it's
you.
answering questions, but it's also holding residents' hands and actually sometimes guiding them through what they can do and how we can help them to achieve that, because some of them don't really know, and some of them don't know, and I'm Exeter rather than Devon, and I get emails about roads, etc., and I say, thank you very much, I will pass it on, but we don't do roads or weeds or what have you. And lots of it is just guiding these people because they don't know these things, and part of our job is to listen to them, guide them, and help them achieve their goal if we can.
Got
Okay,
a
Neil.
good question. Come back to you in a minute, Gary. To get Sue, good one. To get a chance in Exeter, we need a council that is better represented by multiple parties. This will avoid majority having their own way. Proportional representation. That's what I agree with. Right, that is what I would agree with. And I can work with anybody who disagrees. I don't care. I represent everybody. I don't care who you voted for. Even if you don't vote for me, please vote for me. But if you don't, you don't. All right. But that's the way Tony and I work, and Nat and Nick.
I was going to say, I did actually attend a fete the other week where somebody came up, and I'd given this person towards his organisation. I gave some money from the locality grant to make sure that they did well over the next year, and he was very grateful. He said, look, I'm Labour, I didn't vote for you, but as I said, I won't hold that against you. I'm not going to look and say, well, you're not going to have anything then. You look at every case, whatever party they represent, and if you think it's beneficial for the community, you'll give money.
Right, so that's what a councillor does, and you're answering the phone. I've just had one guy, Gary. I've contacted Neil over Exeter City Problem because ECC don't answer the phones. Well, I got no evidence of that, but Gary, you can ring me anytime, and you can. Right, do you need to know everything? We don't know everything.
No,
do
We
we?
should know everything.
Right, but if we don't know, what do we try?
We'll try and find out.
Yeah, I think we try and find out, or put
Guide you on to someone who would know.
Yeah, put somebody in contact with somebody who does know.
All right, so we don't know everything, but go into officers, trying to get the right answer and deliver it back.
A lot of it, I will add. Now, we were speaking about this earlier. A lot of it is networking.
Right,
you meet people,
Exactly.
and
Let's go on to the meat of it. Okay,
right.
We need people. Could one of you be you? We need people, right? And this is what the whole program is about now. Could one of them be you? Now, the road to 27, right? You need passion. You need common sense. You need stamina. You need teamwork. And it's all about the community. Yeah, it does affect your life, but in a good way. My wife might not agree with that, but she's getting on board with it. Well, she might not have much choice. Yeah, but she's starting to read about policies and politics, and she understands about the grandchildren and the kids. So, going back to that question, could one of them be you? Right? And I think this is what we're trying to reach out to everybody right now. What do you think of that, guys?
I think if people want change, you've got to stand up, because the few that Reform's already got in this area isn't enough to put a decent step forward into any election. So we need people's help. We need people to step up, even if it's from leafleting or whatever, as candidates. If you've got the slightest inkling, contact somebody, one of us, and get involved, and we can point you in the right direction as to start the process. But without feet on the ground, there will be no change. It'll be the same old, and sadly, nobody can moan then if we haven't all stood up, if we're capable of doing it.
Agree.
I mean, I think you're right, because I think if you think about it, A Street, just say A Street in St Thomas, there's 100 houses in that street. If one person votes Reform or supports Reform in that street, and they just hand leaflets out in that street,
Correct.
that would be fantastic. And if we had that in multiple streets, it would resolve the problem. So So you're not taking on a huge amount of
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You're just basically being invaluable to helping us move our goals forward.
Yeah, I've lost all the comments, but come back to it in a minute. Right, so what we're looking for is ordinary people. Right, ordinary people who have not dived into politics. They don't know much because you learn on the job. We're looking for people. The main thing is life experience. Life experience. That's my parents. Parents. You know, I'm a grandparent. I'm a parent of kids. Tradesman. I'm a tradesman. You're a tradesman. Tony's a tradesman. Right. Business owners. Right. We can. You know, and young people. Young people. We've had 3 or 4 young people contact us. Right. Retired people, because you do need to spend time. Yeah, you can still work in the day. I work in the day. I come back. I have a set routine. I don't watch TV anymore. I just get on with answering my emails. Right. We need community volunteers, people who've never been involved in politics. Right. And the last thing, people with my biggest thing is common sense.
Absolutely. Thank you. Nat, can you add to that?
Well, I mean, you can't really add to it. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice that somebody's got to make for themselves. And as I've said, if you want change, you're stood right in the view of my camera, Robert.
You've ruined my good side.
But if people want change, you've got to stand up for it. And I won't say it again, but ultimately, if you don't, then change won't happen.
Well, you also, you know, work ethics. I mean, you got to work hard, honesty, listening, common sense, everything, stamina, teamwork, and care. I mean, I care about people. I'm too soft. You know, I used to be a paratrooper. Now I'm too soft.
You'll also meet people you've got things in common with as well. So you make a new friendship group.
Yeah.
And they're not a bad bunch.
So I'll give you an example. Last year we had about 40 people on our campaign team for 2025, and we're going to have more this year. We're going to be probably 50% more in about 3 or 4 weeks, and there are some really good friendships that I actually have made, and many of the people that I was involved with have made. It's really a great time to, just like you said, Nat, to share, common interests and actually have a good time doing it, I think, right?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean we're all obviously on we all are representing reform, but we don't all agree on everything about everything either. So it's not, you don't just come in and get brainwashed, and you have your opinion, which is healthy, isn't it?
Yeah,
we can all talk about what we believe in and whatnot.
Okay, we'll move on because of time, right? So, like we said, you don't have to know everything, all right? Come along, talk to us. If you want to pick up the phone, send us an email, any one of us, all right? Every day's different. We'll train you, we'll support you. I've got a team in the background here. Procedures can be learned. Life experience matters, doesn't it? Experience always be, you've got to have life experience but young people, we need young people.
And
right?
passion.
And passion, yeah. And male or female, this is out to everybody. Yeah. I've got Louise, yeah. Lois, I mean, you're brilliant. Love you to bits, have you? Yeah. We've got Gary, yeah. If you know people, you've got to send a message out. Pick up the phone, send me an email. We will follow it up within 24 hours.
Just last week, Neil, for example, we had somebody contact us, and he runs a web design company, okay? And, there are some taxi drivers out there, really important, you know who you are. There are a lot of different skill sets. I sort of refer to time, talent, and treasure. You might have time if you're retired like me. You might have talent like me. Treasure like Tony has, right?
Oh, right. But change on that bit.
Nobody commented about my hairstyle either.
But I think we've also forgotten one thing. This is also interesting. When people do this, it is really interesting. You do learn a lot. You do see a lot of different sides of life. You also get in to the council buildings. You see how things work, which you might not know how they work until you go in there. So it is also very interesting.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot in the last 6 months.
Well, I think for me it's been a journey, and it's one I don't regret doing. And it is like you said, Nick, going in there and seeing how Devon County Council do things. Not all the things that you agree with.
No.
How things happen, decisions are made, and that when we actually sit in full council or when we meet each other, we're not all at each other's throats. We do talk to each other, and we are friends.
Okay, Neil.
Definite.
Okay, go ahead. If you don't want to stand, all right, guys, you can still help us, all right? And we're only one person at the front, but we need people behind the scenes to support us, right? Without the support team, which is absolutely essential for us, right? No candidate can do everything alone. Campaign needs a team, and this is why we're starting this campaign, all right? Every little contribution helps. So if you look at the list there, right, what can you actually do? There's a big list I've put up. You can deliver leaflets, knock on doors, help with social media. If you're good, I'm learning social media. I could be better. I'm going to do some more videos. Research, help at events, take photographs. We need pictures, right? Help with the administration, reduce us to community groups or introduce us. We just need to spread the word. If we want Exeter to change, Greater Exeter, we need people to get off your chairs, ring us up, meet us, come to the meeting. We're having a meeting on the 31st. That's not Exeter meeting, it's a campaign meeting, right? You can come to our house, right? And we are starting our campaign for the road to 27. Anything you want to add to that, guys? You let me waffle. You let me waffle.
Well, I can add
Yeah,
to
you went
that a
on.
little
I was
bit.
on a different planet then. There
Oh,
for a
no.
brief second.
I can add to that a little bit, Neil. We need an army like we had last year. We need a bigger army because it's a bigger election, like Ian Frank said. It's a monumental election. A lot of work. We need ward captains, people that the candidates can turn to sort of organize a leaflet distribution and to have the army of people. I remember I had a photograph put up on one of the pods, Neil, last year of one of our great leaflet distributors who's out there in the rain and the sleet and wind. And I think there are more holes in his blue jeans than actually there was fabric on his blue jeans. You remember the guy, really
Yeah.
great. So everybody can contribute. Everybody has a skill to help if you want to deliver change. Neil?
Right, the road to 27. It's quite exciting, but it's only exciting if we've got people to support us. Right, then I ask you, the guys, what does success look like for May 27? Tony?
Oh, that's a tricky one. That I mean, success is obviously being elected again to support support the ward that you've gone for. You know.
Well, I think the primary is good candidates.
Strong local candidates, I would
Yeah,
say.
gotta be local, agree,
local.
Nick?
It's
Yeah, I think
imperative.
it's a good point. They have
is.
to be local and live in the area.
Yeah.
That way, you know the issues, you know the problems,
Yeah.
and the
And you've got a
pitfalls.
familiar face. And
Exactly.
That
And you
goes a
know,
long,
knowing
long way.
the area,
Yeah.
which is so important. There's nothing worse when somebody who lives in London gets something about
Yeah.
an
I mean,
area in Exeter, and they
but
obviously don't
people
know
can't
where
relate.
it is.
That there's just no connection there, is there?
No.
Yeah, I maybe answer the question a different way, but I think there are many answers you can give, Neil. But one answer would be, maybe a bit selfishly, is on behalf of our army of people, which I had huge respect for last year. Success to me would be to share in, the result, knowing that you did all you could to help get a candidate elected, whether the candidate was elected or not. That's success to me, really. And going away with a smile on your face and being proud that you made a difference. But I think you guys gave some great answers as well. There's not one answer. Go ahead, Matt.
From a slightly more political aspect, the data will be massive, and every party needs its data on its voters and this, that, and the other. You can be a massive part of building that data up for reform in this area. And it is huge going forward.
See, mine is, residents need to know who we are. So we need to get, we've got a leaflet designed. It's getting printed the next few days, right? And that will be delivered. Not because the other party's doing it. There's nothing about the other parties. There's nothing, not bar charts. It's all about what we've been up to. But what we're trying to do is we are trying to build a strong local team. And if we look at Greater Exeter, once we built Exeter as we are now, we want to spread it to the other areas as well, because 86 seats we need. We're never going to win 86 seats. We've got to look at it. But without winning seats, we can't do anything. Like Lib Dems in Devon won by 2% of the vote, so they control Devon. We have no say. We can just be a voice, right? And our pledge is local priorities, knowing what it needs to be done. Local priorities.
Yeah.
Nat?
Well, success will also be the people you speak to feeling like they're listened to.
Correct.
And if they feel like they're being listened to, that's a success on its own.
Absolutely.
And that's
'Cause that's what
ultimately
that's that's what you've been elected to do, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you can't say you are going to be elected, but if you go and listen to those people's just people, what their views are about their area, then they feel like they've been listened to.
Yeah.
You might not be able to change everything, but as long as you're there and with an open ear.
Yeah, and we want to run a professional campaign, right? We don't want you to vote because who we are. We want you to vote because we've earned people's respect, right? Tony and I work hard. I'm not saying nobody else does, but I want to earn the respect. I want the other councillors. I need 3 councillors for Alphington. We need 3 councillors for St Thomas, 3 councillors for Exeter. We need 3 councillors for your area. So we need people. We need young people. We need anybody who wants to give up time because they care about the community. And that is my message. We need people picking up the phone and say, right, I'm going to give it a shot. I will help deliver leaflets. I will be the ward captain. I'm good at computers. I'm good at doing Facebook. I'm good at spreading the word, getting the messages out. We can't do it all, but if we want change, we need to start now.
Hey, Neil, just give you an example. Many years ago, I saw this movie, The Chariots of Fire. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
And if you remember, I think it was Nick Abrams, who's really a great runner for Britain, was coached by Sam Musabini. And I'm no Sam Musabini, believe me, but I was one of many people, the Army people, John, Gary, all you people that were out there last year. Some of us were at the count, some of us weren't, but when the roar went up, as happened in Chariots of Fire, because Nick won that race, I was incredibly proud of all the people that worked on our Army. I was so privileged to have worked with all those people, and I really look forward to doing the same thing again. I don't want to be a counselor. I want to support you all and get that thrill of victory and see you guys win again, because you've done a tremendous job. Neil?
Yeah, I've just got to, there's a couple of messages here which I'll come back to in a minute. Okay, Paul, I'm going to give you, he wants to give a plug on, he's got if you do VFM4DevonTaxpayers.org, you can find out exactly every area in Devon, or near enough, North Devon, your area, Exeter, what their money is going on to. Right, be part of the change, guys. Let's be part of the change. So the question, why should somebody watching tonight get involved? Nat?
Well, it started off your roads, the condition of your roads. Do you want to see them improve? Your schools, your doctors. Do you want to see all those things improved? Do you want me to pass it over?
No, just go one slide back, Rob.
Okay, we'll do.
Well, I'll do a few. Look, I mean, it's like your council tax. Sort of try and make, you might have a sort of decision or part decision of where the money's spent. Your local services, your community deserves better representation. I mean, that could be you.
Yeah.
You do not know. Remember, last Christmas, It was when I was going to stand. Before that, I was doing a job 9 to 5, completely different. And like I said, I don't regret it.
Thank you, Tony. Neil?
So if you want to stand, you get hold of us. If you want to volunteer, you get hold of us. If you want to support us in any way, you get hold of us. If you want to share this Facebook page, our Facebook page, this podcast, share it. Right? Get involved. We need to get the message out. And this is going to get quite exciting. Our journey to May 27. So getting involved, ready to get involved. Let's go to the contact details, Rob.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. So a lot of different ways, but try emailing Neil or Tony or Nat or Nick. Start with Neil. See if he responds. I'm sure he does. We're going to be running an amazing campaign like we did. WhatsApp or text. The number's right on your screen. Okay. There are a million ways to get a hold of us. Neil,
Or
did you
stop
want
us
to
in the
comment?
street if you see us.
Yeah, I've got one. Gary, I'll stand for my ward. Well done. Lois, I know you're a very clever woman and you can, there's a lot of clever people out there. You haven't got to be clever, just got to be common sense.
No, I'm proof of that.
No, you're a people's person, you are. Anthony, I know you've sent a lot of things in. I hope you're feeling better. But so what's our message tonight? We're taking our journey to May 27. If a general election comes up, yeah, God bless it does. But we need to be prepared in Exeter. We need to change. And the only way to change is to change the establishment. Right? Get off, spread it around, guys. If you can't do it yourself, spread the message, get it on Facebook, push it out. We will help you we'll come to your house, we'll help you fill your forms in. You've got to be vetted, right, if you want to be a candidate. But we will take anything to build this group. We've got about 30, 40 people right now. We need more. We need more people in order to make our plan work.
Biggest thing is, please. And that's how I'd end with that one. Please come and help.
Yeah, I mean, find out what it's all about. We'll quite happily answer any questions. And like I said, stop us in the street if you see us.
Like Ian said, this next year is the biggest in your life, in a generation. And if anybody's not happy, you need to get up, get
Make
to
a
them
stand.
polling stations or fill in your voting slip, all right, and make a stand. We don't want 38%. We don't want 20%. We want as maximum people to go out, because you might not want reform. You might be happy the way it is, but nobody can moan if they haven't voted.
Agree. Yeah. Okay, this has been a great podcast. Any final comments from anybody around?
Yeah,
Nick?
well, I was quickly going to say, which really has nothing to do with it, but Steve, Race, can you at least respond to my email?
That's nothing
It's
to do
been
with
2
it.
weeks.
That's to do
I
with
did
it.
say it had nothing to do with it, Neil.
Okay, Nick.
No, I was only going to very quickly say, just follow up from Neil saying, really, if you're unsure, speak to one of us. You don't have to be a politician. You have to be a people's person. Try it. You will enjoy it.
Here.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Yeah, I was going to say well said there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, just kind of echoing exactly what Nick just said is, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It's a thrill of a lifetime to be out there and seeing, how you can deliver change, because Exeter needs change. You can see that. So, Neil, final comment, and then we'll close. Yeah.
Yeah, just one from Mamala. Yeah, I'm looking at the trees. I did put a post up about the trees planting initiative. Give me a private message. We could have a chat about that. And good questions, guys. Thank you ever so much. Look forward to next week. They will get a little bit more controversial as we go along. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Neil, Tony, Nick, thanks for coming on the show. Nat, you're a legend. So next week we hope to have another Exeter City councilor on the pod, and you know who you are, guy. Okay. So we'll close and wait till next Thursday. Great seeing you guys. See you next time. Same channel, same station.
Respect the place that you call home. Respect the land in which you roam. Respect the country you were born. Let's take it back. Respect reform. Hold on to freedom, hold on to hope. Don't give them slack, don't give them rope. Don't walk and hang your head in shame. Be proud, stand tall, and we will reign. Here it comes the rain again. Upon our island shore. Sometimes to keep the weather out, we must close our doors. Fly the flag and raise your hands. Make Britain great, make Ireland grand. Remember how it used to be. Now fly your flags and sing with me.